Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we uncover the hidden superpowers you never knew you had. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible world of the subconscious mind,
Always exciting stuff.
with the help of some excerpts you sent over from a Brian Tracy seminar.
It's amazing how much we could accomplish when we understand how this hidden force operates.
Yeah, it really is. And Brian Tracy, for anyone who needs a quick refresh, he's a real titan in the self-help world, books, seminars, the whole shebang. But he kicks off this seminar with this really powerful visual. He compares the conscious mind to the tip of an iceberg.
Oh, I like this one.
Just a measly 10%.
Wow.
That leaves a whopping 90% lurking below the surface. What's going on down there?
Right. That 90%, that's the domain of the subconscious.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker, while the conscious mind loves the spotlight,
Right.
it's often the subconscious calling the shots behind the scenes. Think of it this way. Your conscious mind is the gardener, carefully choosing seeds. Those are your thoughts and beliefs. Right. But the subconscious, that's the entire garden, the fertile ground where those thoughts take root and grow to shape your reality.
Okay, so it's not just about thinking a few positive thoughts now and then. It's about cultivating that entire subconscious landscape for those thoughts to flourish.
Exactly.
I like that.
And think about this, the subconscious, it doesn't operate at the snail's pace of our conscious thoughts, okay? It processes information at lightning speed, something like 30,000 times faster than the conscious mind, according to Tracy. It's why we react to things instantaneously.
Oh, wow.
That's your subconscious kicking in.
It's true. When you think about it, like that close call when someone almost backs into you in a parking lot, you jump out of the way before you even have time to think, oh, wait, there's a car.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's your subconscious drawing on past experiences, ingrained patterns, memories, all in a split second.
Wow.
Fascinating stuff.
That's incredible. So where does the conscious mind actually fit in then? If the subconscious is running the show most of the time, is thinking even important?
That's where it gets really interesting. The conscious mind may be a bit slower,
Okay.
but it has some crucial jobs.
Right.
Tracy breaks it down into four main functions. First, it identifies information coming in from our senses.
Okay.
Then it compares that new info to our past experiences.
Right.
From there, it analyzes, looking for patterns and meaning. And finally, based on all that, it makes a decision.
Okay, so going back to our near miss in the parking lot, our conscious mind identifies car, compares it to other cars, analyzes its speed and trajectory, and then makes the decision to move out of the way.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's teamwork. The conscious mind gathers the data, the subconscious processes it at lightning speed, and bam, you're taking action.
Wow, that's incredible when you break it down like that. But there's also this concept of the subconscious being fueled by emotion. What does that mean?
That's where the real force of the subconscious comes into play.
Okay.
Think about it. The stronger the emotion, the deeper the imprint on the subconscious.
Right.
And the faster the reaction. Fear, desire, love. These emotions can drive us to act in ways logic can't always explain.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that leads us to Tracy's law of subconscious activity. What we feed our subconscious, whether it's anxiety or excitement, it will ultimately bring into our lives.
Exactly. Your subconscious is like that loyal friend who always has your back.
Right.
Even if you're asking for something that isn't good for you, it carries out your instructions, even if those instructions are based on fear or limiting beliefs.
Wow.
It shows up in how you talk, what you do, even your overall behavior.
So if you constantly tell yourself, I'm not good enough, your subconscious mind will actually work to make that a reality. That's kind of a scary thought.
It is. And the scary part is it's not always a conscious choice. Your subconscious is always working to align your behavior with your self-image, positive or negative.
Oh, wow.
That's why understanding this is so important.
Yeah, that's huge. So how do we use this to our advantage? It sounds like we need to be incredibly careful about what we're thinking.
Absolutely. And that's where the law of concentration comes into play.
Okay.
This one's all about focus.
Okay.
Whatever you focus on grows.
Right.
So if you're constantly focusing on what you don't want, you're inadvertently giving those thoughts more power.
Right.
Instead, try shifting your focus to what you want to create.
Okay, it's like that saying, where attention goes, energy flows. It's all about directing that energy intentionally.
Exactly. You are a powerful creator,
Right.
and your energy and attention are your most valuable tools. When you direct them towards a particular thought or belief, you're giving it the power to become your reality.
So is this where positive thinking comes in?
It's a piece of the puzzle, but it's more than just thinking happy thoughts.
Okay.
It's about making a conscious choice to focus on what you desire. It's about replacing negative, self-limiting beliefs with ones that empower you. It's a process,
Okay.
and it requires effort, but the results are worth it.
This is getting really interesting. So how do we start to shift those negative beliefs? How do we replace them with something more empowering?
That's where the law of substitution comes in handy. This one's based on a simple fact. Your conscious mind can only hold one thought at a time.
Okay.
You can't simultaneously marinate in fear and embrace desire.
Right?
The key is to consciously choose thoughts of what you desire, pushing those negative thoughts out. It's a constant back and forth, a mental tug of war between fear and desire.
Right.
But remember, the more you focus on your desires, the weaker fear's grip becomes.
So by focusing on our desires, we starve the fear.
Precisely. And in doing so, you reclaim your power and start to align with the outcomes you truly desire.
This reminds me of the saying, to those who have, more will be given. If you focus on abundance, you're more likely to attract it. It all comes back to that conscious choice about where we direct our energy. But how do we actually reprogram our subconscious mind? It sounds like a tall order.
It's not about erasing what's already there. Think of it more like adding to the mix. It's about introducing those new empowering beliefs
Right.
and then strengthening them through repetition.
So if someone is battling constant self-criticism, they can actively counter that by repeating affirmations like, I like myself, or I love myself.
Exactly. It might feel strange at first, but the more you repeat those affirmations, the more your subconscious mind begins to accept them as truth.
Mm.
As those new beliefs take root, you'll see changes in your thoughts, your behaviors, and eventually, your reality.
So consistent repetition is key. It's a continuous process of consciously choosing those empowering thoughts.
Yes, exactly. Think of it like training a muscle.
Okay.
The more you exercise that muscle of positive thinking and self-belief, the stronger it becomes, and the easier it is to push out those negative, limiting beliefs that are holding you back.
This is all so empowering. It really puts us back in the driver's seat. Tracy also talks about the importance of taking control of our thoughts. What does that look like in practice?
He's really highlighting that our thoughts are the one thing we have absolute control over.
Right.
We can't always control external circumstances, but we get to choose how we respond, and that all starts with our thoughts.
So by taking control of our thoughts, we're essentially taking control of our lives.
That's the heart of it, absolutely. Your
Yeah.
thoughts are incredibly powerful. They create your reality.
Hmm.
By choosing to focus on what you want, by replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, by consistently affirming your desired outcomes, you are essentially taking control of the creative power of your subconscious mind.
Now that is powerful. And it feels like the core message Tracy is conveying in this seminar, that we have this amazing power within us, but it's our responsibility to tap into it.
It's about recognizing that you are not merely a passenger on this journey of life. You are the driver.
Right?
You choose your destination, and then you steer your subconscious mind in that direction. You are in control.
I love that analogy.
Right.
It's so incredibly empowering.
It is. We often underestimate the power of our own minds. But when we begin to understand how the conscious and subconscious work together, we unlock our true potential.
This has been incredibly fascinating. We've learned so much already about the inner workings of our minds.
It is remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've only just scratched the surface. There's still so much more to explore about the subconscious mind and its incredible capabilities.
I'm ready to dive deeper, but let's take a pause here to process everything we've covered.
That's a great idea. Sometimes we need to give our conscious minds a chance to catch up.
Right. We've journeyed from the tip of the iceberg all the way to the depths of the subconscious. But don't worry, we'll be back soon to explore even more of this fascinating topic. All right, we're back. I'm still buzzing from that last section. It's wild to think about our subconscious just working away back there, actually shaping our reality.
It really is remarkable, like having this unseen hand guiding our thoughts, our actions, our entire experience.
Exactly. And we were talking about how important it is to be mindful of the thoughts we're having, to really be intentional about planting those empowering beliefs instead of the negative limiting ones. It all comes back to that law of concentration we discussed.
Right, right. The more we focus on what we want, the more likely it is to show up in our lives.
Exactly.
And remember, the subconscious mind, it doesn't judge what we feed it. It takes it all in as truth.
Right.
So if we're constantly being bombarded by negative self-talk, fears, those beliefs, they take root.
Wow.
But when we intentionally focus on what we want to create, success, abundance, love, that's when the subconscious really gets to work bringing those desires to life.
It's almost like we're programming these self-fulfilling prophecies, right? Like we get to choose what we want to manifest just by choosing where we focus our energy and attention.
That's a great way to put it. Of course, it's not always easy to control those thoughts, especially when we've spent years, maybe decades, stuck in these negative patterns.
Yeah.
But the good news is, with practice, we can actually rewire those neural pathways and create new, empowering beliefs.
So how do we do that?
It's all about increasing our awareness of those negative thoughts when they pop up, and then consciously choosing to shift that focus.
So the more we practice, like mindfulness, the quicker we are to catch those negative thoughts and say, nope, not today. I'm choosing to focus on something good.
Exactly. And it's a practice. It's not, it's not a perfect science. And it really does come back to that garden analogy, right? If we want a thriving garden, we've got to put in the work. You can't just scatter a few seeds and hope for the best. We've got to prepare the soil, plant those seeds carefully, water them, give them sunlight.
Nurture them.
Tending to our subconscious mind is a very similar process. It takes consistent effort, nurturing, care.
So what are some practical things we can do to start cultivating that inner garden? We talked about affirmations earlier. Could you elaborate on those a little bit more? Like, how do they actually work?
Sure. Affirmations are incredibly powerful tools for reprogramming that subconscious mind. They're basically positive statements we repeat to ourselves over and over and over again to really plant those specific beliefs deep within our minds. And here's the key. It's not enough to just say the words.
Yeah.
We have to embody them. We have to feel them as if they were already true.
Okay, so it's less about like robotic repetition and more about really feeling into the truth of those positive statements. So instead of just saying, I am successful, it's more like visualizing myself actually achieving a specific goal, feeling those emotions of success, really believing in its possibility.
Exactly. Engaging our senses makes those affirmations even more powerful. The more vivid the image, the stronger that emotional connection, and the deeper those beliefs become embedded in our subconscious minds. It's like we're creating this mental movie of our desired reality, and then we're stepping into that movie as the main character. We are acting as if those desires are already our reality.
I love that. Creating that internal experience, right? As if it's already here. It's not just thinking it, it's feeling it, believing it, living it in our minds.
Yeah.
That's how we begin to align ourselves with those outcomes.
Precisely. It's about shifting our energy to match the frequency of our desires. And the more we do that, the more we create this internal environment where those desires can flourish.
This is incredible. So we're talking about rewiring our brains for success by taking control of our thoughts, our beliefs, and we have this whole toolbox of techniques to help us do it. We've got affirmations, visualizations. Are there other tools in the subconscious toolbox? What else can we use?
Oh, there are definitely more tools to explore. We've only just begun to uncover the power of this subconscious mind. In fact, there's one more technique I think you'll find particularly fascinating.
Oh, you've got me intrigued now. Don't leave me hanging. What is it?
Well, how do you feel about hypnosis?
Hypnosis.
Okay.
This is where things get really interesting. Tell me more. Hypnosis. Okay, now we're really getting into it. Is this like the stuff you see in movies with the swinging pocket watch? You were getting sleepy.
Well, it's not always quite so theatrical, although those methods can be effective.
Right.
Hypnosis is really just a state of deep relaxation where your mind becomes more open to suggestion.
Okay.
So you're not asleep, but your conscious mind kind of takes a little step back, allowing those suggestions to bypass the critical filters and go straight to the subconscious.
So it's like we're planting those seeds of suggestion right in that fertile ground of the subconscious. And the conscious mind's not there to, like, overthink it.
Exactly. And because the subconscious is so receptive in that state, it can be really effective for addressing those deep-seated beliefs,
Right.
overcoming those pesky limiting behaviors, even things like facilitating physical healing.
Wow.
Yeah, powerful stuff.
So we're talking about rewiring those deep-seated patterns, maybe the ones that affirmations and visualizations can't quite reach.
Exactly. It's like, being able to access the control panel of your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could update the software.
I like that.
Right. Now, it's important to remember, working with a qualified, experienced hypnotherapist is crucial. You want to make sure it's safe and effective.
Right, of course.
But it's definitely a path worth exploring if you're really looking for that deep, lasting change.
It's like taking a guided tour of your subconscious mind. Sign me up.
Okay, we've covered so much ground today on this journey into the subconscious mind, from just understanding how it works to these incredible tools we can use to reprogram it, affirmations, visualizations, even hypnosis.
It's been quite the journey.
It really has.
And remember, this is a lifelong journey of self-discovery. Every time you choose an empowering thought, every time you visualize that outcome you want, you're actively shaping your reality. You're tapping into the incredible power of that subconscious mind.
That's a powerful takeaway. And it's so important to remember, it's not about reaching some final destination. It's about this continuous journey of growth, of evolving, of really becoming more aligned with who we are.
Precisely. Be mindful of those seeds that you're planting in that garden of your mind. Nurture them, tend to them, and just watch them grow. You have the power to create this truly extraordinary life, one thought, one belief, one action at a time. I love that. Thank you. I think that's the perfect note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of the subconscious mind. It's been an absolute pleasure exploring this topic with you.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you for having me.
And remember, dear listeners, the most incredible journeys often begin with a single conscious thought. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those subconscious gardens thriving.